So the firewall's all done. Now we gotta start working on putting the stuff back on the firewall here. We're gonna meticulously go through some of this stuff. Tonight's agenda is the heater and AC box. So we're gonna disassemble it, and like everything, it's got that same crack that we had on the firewall on it. So we're gonna go through and break every piece down and get it all cleaned up. There's just crud, so ain't no sense in doing all this work to the firewall here and not cleaning up the pieces that go on it. So we're gonna go ahead and start taking this apart and start going through the parts and cleaning them up and repainting some of them and cleaning the fiberglass up and restore this. I'm gonna start out by taking this fan motor out. Like I said, just take your time. Keep all your bolts together. Remember where they go. These bolts, I don't know how they're gonna clean up. We might blast them and re-anodize them. We might not. Like I said, do it all right the first time so you don't have to do it again. The best part of restoring a car is when you get done with it and you look at it and you're just like, man, I should have done that. I should have done this. So I'll go through and do it piece by piece. So we're gonna start taking the stuff apart, getting it out and cleaned up, and so I might need to might need to redo some of these bolts. If I can get the right socket. Redo some of these bolts. The anodizing. Like I said, just take your time. This is the fun part, at least for me. Kind of calming. It's the small things when you get a project done, you know, like pieces like this. You know, the rubber's all nice and crusty from that undercoating crap they sprayed all over it. So take it and take it off and clean it up, and ain't no sense in putting dirty parts back on a freshly cleaned engine bay. So like I said, just keep your bolts, make sure you remember where they go. And like I said, take it apart nice and meticulous. And yeah, throw you on a time lapse here and get through blasting this thing apart and taking the pieces off of it and slowly go through restoring the pieces. You know, first we'll start out by, you know, just cleaning them up, and if they don't clean up, then we'll just go in a little bit farther with it and dig into, you know, restoring the pieces. Like I said, ain't no sense in doing all that work to that firewall when you're gonna take old dirty parts and put old dirty parts back on it. So I'm gonna throw you out a time lapse and we'll get to going. And this is the exact reason why you take everything apart and clean it before you put it back on your project. I'll flip you around here and show you. It's disgusting. So, flip you around here. As you can tell, we got this all apart. You know, it's got the nasty crust on it, like everything else did in the engine bay from that undercoating spray. Cover two. And fan motor's got it on there. Got all the bolts on there. Squirrel cage is all crusty. AC parts, same spray. But pull the AC condenser out. I think we had a little friend in here at one time. So, yeah. Pull this stuff apart, guys. Clean it out. That's disgusting. So, that's where I'm going to leave it off tonight. I'm going to take this stuff, these cases inside, and hang out with the wife and do some small projects inside with it. So, we'll probably be in the same video, obviously. But we'll come back to it, and I'll have the case all clean, and we'll pressure wash this. And if I do any of the, I think I'm gonna end up doing some of these bolts. They're pretty rusty, crusty. We'll go through and sandblast those and re-black anodize them. And like I said, this is the fun part. When you start getting to take parts apart and cleaning it up and not having to do that much work, but it turns out good. So take your time, go through what you got. Don't break anything. Try not to break anything. Don't assume that you're not going to use it and throw stuff away. Save everything. Done that before. Said I'm going to get new parts. Never got new parts. And the project stalls. So take your time. Save all your pieces. And enjoy the process. We'll probably see you in a day or two after I get all this stuff cleaned up. It's Monday, beginning of the week, so probably catch you closer to the middle to the end. So have a good night. Well, many hours later, many days later, I got the AC boxes all cleaned off, scuffed up. I'm gonna try something here. I was gonna use some gel coat on it, but all gel coat's tinted. I didn't really want to tint too much, so we're gonna try this. It's a 2-part clear coat satin. You actually pop the thing on the bottom. Like I said, first time using this, so we're gonna try this on the air conditioning boxes. I'll go back here in my homemade paint booth. I'll flip you around here. So I got everything all cleaned up and scrubbed up. That black crap was all over all this. So we're gonna try clear coating it and seeing what happens. Hopefully it turns out the way I think it's gonna turn out. So like I said, my homemade paint booth, just a simple box fan in the back there and a furnace filter, and sucks the air from the front to the back so that you don't get as much overspray, but we're gonna get some. So yeah, go ahead and set you guys up and hit this with some clear coat and see how she turns out. Well, we got her all painted up. Turned out all right. like I said, nice, satin clear. Still drying a little bit. Like I said, a lot better than what it was. There's the same stuff that was in the firewall, that black stuff. As you can see, you can get all of it off, but most of that's underneath. So it'll look good. A little bit better than what it was. So we'll start getting it mocked up on the car. I already got one piece back here that I'm starting to work on putting on. And get you down here. As you can see, a lot cleaner, nicer on the firewall. I'm getting this all mocked up now because that bolt right there, we're actually getting ready to put some nut zerts or riv nuts or whatever you want to call them in to replace those, and some nice stainless hardware just to clean it up. Like I said, take time, do it right. So I think it looks pretty good. Looks really nice, clean up against that nice fresh black. As you can see, I started putting some trim pieces on. Just can't wait. I'm excited to start getting this thing back together. Get this thing as a roller and stab that motor in and see how she fits and see where we got to cut. Hopefully, I don't have to cut this box. Fingers crossed. But we'll see. Get this all mocked up and start going through the riv nut process. So I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time using a riv nut gun, but it's going pretty good. Using a step bit right now to get my holes punched out for the riv nuts. One more step. Make sure all that metal broke loose on the inside there. Can of paint over here. So I can dust these holes real quick, just so there's no bare metal. I'm gonna go to put these riv nuts in. One I'm using is got off Amazon. It's an Astro. So let me get it in focus here. Right there. It's a 114/42. Comes as a kit. Kind of nice. Hole. Make sure she's flat. Just squeeze gentle. I've heard of people breaking off the bit. And you can feel when it gets tight. Squeeze just a little bit more. she's straight in the panel. And screw it out. These are really nice, finished hole fastener in it. Real nice finished with some threads in it for our new hardware we're going to put on. So I got two more. We got this one and this one. And drill them out and get them all finished up. Always double check to make sure. Don't just sit there and count the studs. Always make sure that you're not going too far. I'm sure you guys have heard that term. Measure twice, cut once. Tape back here from painting. Measure twice, cut once. It's the same thing with drilling holes. Make sure you measure, look at it twice and drill once, because there ain't no going back once you get it drilled out. Make sure if you can get that metal that you push through on the back side. Broke off. Shit, stuff's really sharp, so careful. Paint again. And get your roof nut on your tool. Like I said, there's a lot of videos out there if you guys can't see it. People using riv nuts for just about everything. Squeeze. Phew. I broke it. I didn't. Don't think. No, so it's good. One more. They said, everybody says it's kind of a hard process, but take your time and do it right. Do it right. Don't go too far. One more. Metal out. Tool. Repeat. Like I said, this came in a kit, really nice kit. Came with some riv nuts to get you started. I chose to go with 1/4 20 on this. So let's get our box up and bolt her on. Get her all put back together, at least mocked up in place. So yep, we'll got these all together. We'll get it bolted up mock it up in place and give her a shot. Go. Like I said, just a little something extra. Stainless, some stainless hardware on there. Makes it a little nicer, a little easier to put on. Something a little bit different than just that crappy old hardware. Got some right here. So, I don't know. Looks alright. I'm happy with it. I got some work to do on some of them, but start getting stuff back together. I'm gonna take this back off, get all the guts and everything put back in it, and yeah, keep going on it. Start putting stuff back together. I'm gonna rewrap these electrical lines, or these wires here, you can see them, rewrap those, and yeah, slowly but surely start bolting parts back on. That kind of wraps up most of the paint work and everything that I got, other than parts here and there, clean up. But yeah, I am going to replace a lot more of the hardware in the bay with, like I said, the stainless hardware. Just dress it up a little bit, so when you do pop the hood, it's not, I don't know, add a little extra to it. So, but yeah, we'll get on the next episode here and probably finish this up and start bolting some of the other pieces on. Yeah, might go underneath the car. Picked up a bit for my grinder and start grinding some of that stuff back. It's actually a prepping tool for truck bed liners, because that's the material we're going to use. I got some roll-on Herculiner. Find it at any farm to fleet or parts store or whatever. A little bit cheaper than that Raptor liner or whatever it is. A little easier to do it manually. So we're going to do the front half of the car, and yeah, that way we can start putting the subframe back underneath and get this thing back to a roller. It needs to move. I got too much stuff to organize and clean up to have it sit here forever like this. So this was just a little job. Wanted to kind of get some satisfaction and keep me moving forward on it. So yeah, with that, like, subscribe, come back, keep going on this car, keep getting it ready for the spring, and yep, take your time, do it right, enjoy it when we have it. Have a good one, guys.